Have you ever wanted to return to a place you visited in the past only to think, why didn't I do this sooner? Well, I started my trip to Kurashiki on a bad foot because I forgot to purchase my limited express ticket, but thankfully I was able to purchase it on the train. Kurashiki is one of those places that is very popular with domestic tourists, but I feel that it's not fully embraced by the international traveler, which is potentially one of the reasons why I actually like it so much. It has so much to offer. It really feels like you've been drawn into the past of Japan, and it's really well set up for tourists. Easy to get to from Okayama. You could even make it a day trip from Osaka or Kyoto or even Hiroshima. Just doing a little bit of research, you'll see how easy it actually is to get to Kurashiki. The main draw, and probably the reason why I love it so much, is this canal that runs through the center of this Edo town, which is sometimes referred to as Little Venice or the Venice of Japan. But getting a boat ride is actually incredibly difficult, and after doing a lot of research, I realized that I had to get there as early as I could to queue up so that I could actually get a little bit of a ride on one of these beautiful boats on this incredibly picturesque canal. And that was my challenge for the day. The ticket office actually opens at 9 a.m., but I was lined up from 8:30 in the morning and there was already some people queuing up, as you can see. And by quarter to 9 in the morning, the queue only became bigger. They were very well prepared. They gave me a sheet of paper so that I could have all the information ready so that everything could be super efficient in, a very Japanese way. And I actually got through to the front by around quarter past 9, and already by that time, the next boat was at 10:30 in the morning. But you know what? Being a solo traveler, I was able to get on the 9:30 ride because when you're on your own, you can fill the gaps, and that's exactly what happened in this case.
はい、ごめんなさい。どこ行きますか？サイズありがとう。
As a solo traveler, I love interacting with people, especially when I'm lining up in a queue or sitting at the counter at an izakaya or a restaurant. I just love talking to people, trying out my Japanese, and having a little bit of fun. So, yes, mission accomplished. I managed to get on one of the first boats of the day to start riding through this incredibly beautiful canal. As you can see, they gave us some hats that made the whole thing even more quirky and authentic, if you want to call it that way. But I was having it, I was really enjoying my time on this boat. And the view from the canal was incredible. Watching people walking by on either side and seeing this very old Edo town come to life as people start to arrive early in the morning, it was very special watching this from the boat. Would you ride this boat? Let me know in the comment section. And also, just one little piece of advice, if you're planning to come here, then make sure you do queue up as from 8:30 in the morning, because I spoke to some tourists later on in the day and they didn't manage to get a slot because they do run out fairly quickly, especially on public holidays and on weekends. I needed some coffee and some breakfast in me, so I headed to this cafe, and Kurashiki really impressed me with a selection of cafes, coffee stores, breakfast locations. I just love going to places where I can just wander around the streets and find hidden gems at every corner. I really feel that Kurashiki is one of those places. It really is easy to not go with your plans when a place is as beautiful as this town. And I actually found a street piano and I decided to give it a little bit of a go.
random composition. Oh, guys, I know I've said this many times, but I use Sakura Mobile to stay connected, check directions, and generally not get lost, communicate with people through translation, and so much more. So I'll actually leave an affiliate link here. If you're looking for mobile data, an eSIM or a pocket Wi-Fi, then you can use my affiliate link. It will help the channel out at no additional cost to you. And you'll be getting a great product that actually works, that's trusted by me and many in the Ninja Monkey community. Anyway, let's carry on exploring.
I really don't think there's a place quite like Japan where you'll find random things like a guy walking around with multiple cats on a bicycle, which I was thankfully able to pet.
Luna and San. Wow, can I touch? Yeah. Can I video? This? Okay. Sugoi. Oh, Luna. Oh, Luna. I love cats.
Yeah.
And this one is San. No, doesn't want.
ちょっとびっくりしたよ
No.
ね。
This one's friendly. Ah, maybe not.
何怒って
大丈夫です。
多分ねこれ見たから。
Ah, that's why. Camera shy.
And yes, I totally understand everyone wanting to pet those cats. Kurashiki is a great place to visit museums and art galleries, and I visited the Ohara Museum of Art, which I wasn't able to film inside. I'm not a big art fan, but I do appreciate art, and the fact that it was air conditioned really helped. This was a great place to switch off for a moment. It was a little bit of a detox moment, kind of like a palate cleanser that they give you in a restaurant before heading out to explore what the rest of the town has to offer. The Kurashiki Ivy Square was a location that was recommended online, but to be honest, it was a little bit underwhelming. It has a beer garden and some stores, but I'd probably miss this in the future if I had to return, which I probably will, but not to the Kurashiki Ivy Square. Today was incredibly hot, so I made my way to Ebisudori, which was a great idea because it's covered. It's less crowded, even though the main area wasn't that crowded. There were numerous cafes, food options, and I ended up having some beautiful pork cutlet in a very popular restaurant with a little bit of a line. I wrote down my name and asked how long it would take, and they told me to return an hour later. So I used the opportunity to just have some more coffee and check out some of the stores that line the covered street. What I initially thought would be a short walk up some steps to the main shrine actually ended up a little bit tougher and longer than expected, but totally worth it. As I ascended, the cityscape started to appear. The approach to the shrine was quiet, and arriving to what was a rather serene location with views and, more importantly, some benches to sit down on and admire the city below in a tranquil environment.
大丈夫ですか？大丈夫？はい。Give me five. Give me five. Five. Give me five. Give me five. No? High five. High five. No. No high five.
Trying to make friends along the way didn't quite work this time, but the shrine itself was peaceful, and although hot and humid on a full summer's afternoon, totally worth the trip. Descending from the shrine, I actually made it to a friend's recommendation. The Utagawa Kuniyoshi Museum ended up being more impressive than I expected. The building itself is incredible, and the fact that you have to take off your shoes and walk onto the tatami mats as you walk through this beautiful building with incredible artwork just made me realize how much talent some humans have had in the past and continue to have, but maybe not me. You're not allowed to take photos or videos of the actual artwork, but you are allowed to take video and photos of the architecture and the scenery itself, which was a bonus for this video. Next on my agenda was kibidango. I always recommend that you try local foods, and this was perhaps not a first for me, but a must. Recommended in multiple guides and videos, this was a much needed snack and drink just before I headed back to Okayama where I was staying. Kibidango is a traditional Japanese sweet. It's chewy, it's sweet, it's like a dumpling, it's glutinous, it's starchy, It's kind of strange and not everybody will like the texture, but I quite enjoy it. And just like that, my trip to Kurashiki was coming to an end. It took me 10 years to get back to Kurashiki, and hopefully it won't take me that long next time. And as I made my way back to the station and to Okayama, where I was staying, although sad to leave Kurashiki behind, I was excited for all the adventures, new places, and old places that I was gonna visit. So make sure that you subscribe, like, so that you can keep up with the adventure and join me on the many things that I get up to. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment below. See ya!